Hi everyone, I'm Joe. Today it's time to reflect back on 2020 and look forward and make some plans for 2021. So, 2020 was a disaster of a year, frankly, for pretty much everybody on the planet. Obviously, the COVID-19 pandemic happened and everybody has had to mostly stay inside and find things to do for the whole year, which for a bookworm is really not much of a problem, but it's still been pretty miserable overall because obviously people have been dying and all the horrible events that have happened. So frankly, if you're watching this video, you have survived, therefore you should congratulate yourself and feel a sense of accomplishment, because frankly this year has been that awful that you should give yourself any and all breaks that you can, frankly, because we have managed to get this year behind us and now we can look forward to the future. Although before looking forward, I'll reflect back, obviously. So my first goal was to read and reduce the amount of unread books that I have on the shelves behind me and in this room. I have not managed to achieve this. However, I haven't managed to increase it because I have read the same number of books that I purchased. 104 books. Read 104 books. Purchased. So this is on an even keel for 2021, and in fact I will continue this goal into the new year. The second goal that I was aiming for was to read as many books this year as I did in 2019. This I failed, but I do not care that I failed. I read 30 less books this year than the previous year, which is totally fine. This is not a sort of competition with myself because that would be pointless, and it's just purely a numbers arbitrary goal that I set myself. I don't care because frankly this year was not very pleasant, so the fact I read a large number of mostly excellent books is the most important goal to me. And so frankly, yes, I may have failed technically on this goal, but I literally do not care, which is totally fine. The third thing I wanted to do was maintain my low book buying. I managed in the previous 2 years. I'd been slowly reducing the amount of money and indeed the number of books I was buying. Yeah, I failed really bad on this one. Now this was partially, of course, to do with the fact that my fourth goal in 2020 was to go to New Zealand, which is literally the other side of the planet, for the 2020 Worldcon in the summer. Obviously that didn't happen. It was cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So the money that I then saved from not going to that, I had in excess. So I thought, well, I might as well make use of it, and I bought myself rather a lot of books, frankly. So yes, I may have failed this goal, but again, I don't care because this was a good way of getting through the year and it worked out ultimately. So, and there's still more Worldcons in the future. Worldcons happen every year. Whether I will be going to 2021 or 2022 or beyond, I don't know yet. But there will be more Worldcons and there will be more books. So overall, this is pretty much even. And the fourth goal, as I said, was New Zealand, which didn't happen. The two personal goals I had was to be more focused and to push harder with certain personal goals that I wasn't going to talk about at the start of the year and I'm not going to talk about now. I've managed to achieve this. And the other goal was to try to get in better physical shape. I haven't achieved that. However, I have pretty much maintained my sort of level of fitness. I'm not any less healthy than I was at the start of the year. My diet is still extremely good and everything else. So I'm very happy with how I've managed to maintain this, considering that I have barely left the house. Although in some respects that hasn't changed that much because I'm still very much a homebody. I mean, my hobbies involve generally staying at home doing things. So, it's not all that surprising. Although maintaining my fitness, it's been pretty something I'm happy with overall. So, now I will look forward to 2021, which pretty much has to be better than 2020 because, well, I mean, all the pandemic has not lessened, but at least we are now aware of it and can cope with it a bit better. And overall, things are just easier to maintain now. At least we know how to handle it now, rather than this sudden burst of pandemic that was happening all over the world in March. Anyway, the first goal is to read more books in 2021 than I did this year. That won't be that hard considering I only had 104. But suffice to say, if at the end of 2021 I end up saying something similar to this video where I say I failed to read more books, again I will be saying the similar thing in that I literally don't care. I would like to, just because it's something that, obviously reading more books is good, because I generally do read quality. So if I can also read quantity, so much the better. If I don't, it's not a major problem. It's just something I would like to achieve if possible. But whatever, I don't care. The second goal is something that I'm more bothered about, and that is to even up my male to female author ratio. The previous 2 years, I have managed to get a fairly even split with this, and in fact, in 2029, I think it was, I actually managed a almost dead even 50-50 split between male and female authors. This year I failed with that really badly. It was 80% male, 20% female. This is something I'm not happy by. I knew this would happen, frankly, because I was trying to read a lot of my owned unread books on my shelves, which are more male than female. I was trying to not buy as many books, although I did fail on that. So this happening and failing on this goal this year was to be expected, which is why I didn't set it as a goal this year. But in 2021 I will set this as a goal. I'm going to focus on this a lot more now. I want to try and get close to that even 50-50 split that I managed in 2019, because I liked that. I was really proud of that goal. So, I want to get back to that, or at least close to it, better than this year, which is not that hard, thankfully. The third goal is to make more reviews on this channel than I did in 2020. Now, I did a lot of reviews during this year, more reviews this year than I've ever done any previous year. However, in 2021, I want to increase that even more. I enjoy watching reviews and I enjoy making reviews immensely, actually. I never used to enjoy making reviews as much as I do nowadays, for whatever reason. Nowadays I actually find reviews to be the most challenging and the most satisfying videos to make. Therefore, I frankly want to just make more of them. And that should happen, because hopefully I've got a lot of books planned for 2021. I mean, I've got several large projects in mind, which will all require an awful lot of video views to be made. I don't know how I'm going to fit them all in the year, but I will. I always do. The fourth goal is to buy no more books than I did in 2020. This one is one that I'm not all that bothered if I fail it, because it's a somewhat arbitrary goal, although buying slightly less books than 2020 would be nice. If I manage it, it's not a major problem. I would like to spend less money, however, than 2020. So if I buy more books but spend less money, I'd be very happy, because I'm going to try to source my books differently in 2021, so I can try and get more books for less money. I think I should be able to achieve this, because I've got ideas. So this shouldn't be a major problem, but I don't know. I will see in time. The next goal is, and my last goal in fact, is travel. Basically, obviously this, like 2020, depends on circumstances. Honestly, I am not putting a lot of hope on the fact I will travel in 2020, because if I go to the Worldcon, which is held in Washington DC in America, for instance, that will probably be delayed until the winter. Even if it is delayed until the winter, however, I still doubt I will manage to go to it, because of course go to it and actually enjoy myself, I would want really the inoculation for COVID-19, which has just started being deployed around the world. However, that is not likely to happen in the UK before that point, because obviously it is going, and rightly so, from the older people who tend to suffer from COVID-19 much more seriously, and is working down the age decade by decade. So therefore it will be a while before it gets around to me. So I will need to book flights and things before I actually even have the injection. and things, which I'm not going to risk doing. So I doubt personally I will manage to travel much in 2021, but if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I mean, I will travel again. 2022 will definitely be travel, because by then I will have had an inoculation, and hopefully things might be a bit more sane and slightly more normal, back to what they used to be, where people could actually travel around without having to worry about, massive infections and things. But we'll see in time. And with that said, that is it for this video. So please let me know what your goals were this year, or at least one or two of them, and if you achieved them. And if you've got any interesting goals for 2021, then again, please let me know and we can have a talk about them. All my social media links can be found in the description box below, as they always are. And with that said, that is it for this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you another day. Bye for now.